Okay, now we're in the Woodshed study group and we are studying Mandolin Masterclass by Brad Laird. We're working on the tail end of Lesson 2. And in Lesson 2, Brad gives us 12 scales to study. And then after he gives us the scales on page 8, he begins to show us some variations. I've shown some variations for playing scales in previous videos, but right now I want you to show you a fourth variation that puts some of Brad's ideas together, the ideas that he has there on page 8 and 9. And so we're going to play those. I'm going to upload a tableted file that has the G scale and all the variations for the G scale in it. So this will be number 4 in that tableted file, variation number 4. And again, it's based on the ascending and descending pieces that Brad has shown there on pages 8 and 9. Now I've got my metronome set at about 66 beats per minute, and I do add a little bit of a swing usually when I practice these things, just to so I can feel it. So what you need to do when you use that metronome is get in a groove. You can rock to the metronome. You could start your hand moving to the metronome. And we're going to use each click equals a quarter note. And since we're playing 8 notes, our downstrokes will be on the click, hopefully, or close to it. And the upstrokes will be between the clicks. This is variation number 4. One, two, three, four. Okay, now I'm playing these scales, as I've mentioned before, at 66 beats per minute, and I'm playing these scale variations in 8th notes. Now, there's no reason that you should play them that fast. You can go as slowly as you need to. If you're using a metronome, set it as low as you want. You can read ahead if you'd like. We're not quite ready to launch into the next lesson, but in just a couple of pages from here, you've probably already read what Brad had to say about slowing down and about using the metronome. We're going to get into that in more detail when we post lesson 3 and 4. But for now, as we near the end of lesson 2, I want you to go as slow as you need to go. Take your time. Providing tableted files so that you can slow those down and play along with them if you'd like. And you'll also have tablature for all of the variations that I have talked about up to this point. We're going to close with 2 more. And I learned these variations from Ted Eskelman's 4-finger closed position scale practices. So those are included there, and he also includes some others. I encourage you to look at that. If you look at Ted's four-finger closed position, we call it FFCP. If you look at those, he covers all 12 keys as well, but he does it all with closed positions, no open strings. And then he's got quite a few variations for practicing those scales, and I'm including 2 of those in this video, and also in the tablature and the tablet edit. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. Time to monkey around again. Okay. As Brad mentions, there are thousands of ways that you can rearrange notes and play around with scales and spice up scales. And so again, I want you to monkey around on your mandolin. What I want you to do is just stay within that G scale. And play the notes in any order that you like. Just don't be afraid to make a mistake, because there is no mistake in this case. I just want you to remember where those notes are. And you can start out by just randomly doing it, whatever. I just want you to play around with the scale. If you're going to learn to improvise, and if you are going to do anything creative like improvisation or writing music, then it will pay for you to spend some time just noodling around, goofing off, and coming up with these different scale variations is a part of that. And you don't even have to do anything fancy or formal. I hope this doesn't sound too crazy to you, but I think it's a good exercise. And when you sit around and play with things like that, really there's no telling where it might lead you. And that is really the joy of learning a little bit about speaking the language of music. The more you know about scales and the way things go together, you can sit around and play, and when you do your random noodling and playing around, instead of just being aimless, not knowing where you are on the mandolin, you have some idea of, uh, well, sort of a context in which to play around. Till next time, peace, love, and mandolin.